Have you ever had one of those days where your lesson plan was perfect? Your slides are ready, the videos are queued up, your students are actually paying attention. Okay. And then when you are ready to start, guess what? Technology, it says not today. Nope, not today. Yeah, I'm talking about if you have a clear touch, it doesn't work. And if you happen to have one of those smart boards like we had a couple of years ago, guess what? That doesn't work either. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness. Panic starts to strike inside of you. And you're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What do? We go old school. Today we are going to talk about something that every teacher has experienced at least once and probably a few times. At least some part of it. What it is, it's a full-blown technology meltdown. Listen, you know, like I do, that most times these things don't happen when you are prepared. Like when you actually have your slides, those things don't happen. Most times they happen. The technology is always working when you really don't have all your slides. You weren't really prepared. You thought like, oh, I'll just wing it, right? No, it's there. It's working. It's saying, here I am. Come on, use me. But you're like, I can't use you because I really don't have nothing planned, right? But anyway, that's just a little side note sometimes. Not saying that we do this all the time, but out of years and years of teaching, sometimes we are prepared, but in other ways. But anyway, let me get back on track. Let me just set the visual for you. You worked hard, right? You prepared, and your classroom is ready. You see your students coming, and you just you got a little pep in your step today because you're like, look, I'm prepared. My visuals are ready. I do have my slides because I prepared my slides. And guess what? I even have slides of engagements for my students to do. There's going to be some games. There's going to be some interaction. They're going to be able to go from one point to the other. You just like, yes, this is going to be a good day. So you all excited, right? Okay. All right. So keep with the visual now. Keep with the visual. So your students, they walk in, they're ready to learn. You turn to the board and it just sits there. Loading or doing nothing. I don't know. Sometimes just a black empty space. Sometimes you see that little twirl and twirl and twirl. And you're like, you tapping and you're clicking things and nothing happens. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, what's going on? Because you mean like 2 seconds ago, you were ready. 2 seconds ago, you were excited. And now you have this sinking feeling inside. And you're like, what is going on? And then you look up. Because like in my classrooms, a lot of classrooms that I'm in, there's this little square box up in the ceiling. And most times it has a green light. But if it doesn't have a green light, guess what? You realize you ain't got no internet. There's no internet, there's no Wi-Fi, there's nothing. Sometimes you might have the internet and you could just say, okay, I have it on my laptop. But what good is the laptop and your laptop's in what, 14 inches? What are you doing? Everybody not going to come around your laptop and look at the stuff that you did? No. But sometimes nothing's working, right? So you're just like, Now, in good old classroom teacher, we all have those students that suddenly become IT experts. Oh, yeah. Yes. They would tell you things like, oh, Miss Teacher, have you unplugged it and plugged it back in? Because you unplug it and then you count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, are you counting by ones? Are you counting by twos? Are we doing this by fives? What are we doing here? But anyhow, they want me to count. And then we're going to plug it back in, right? And then there's somebody else that says, wait a minute. My mom says that, you know what, you're just going to have to just reset that router, okay? Okay. But then I think to myself, all these great ideas that my students are giving me, just a few minutes ago, they couldn't even find their pencil. Now, all of a sudden, I got all this tech support. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're trying to stay calm. You are. You really are. You're trying to stay calm. You refresh the page, you start the board, and you're just like, nothing's working. So then you go, all right, I've tried everything. I've tried everything, and it's just not working. So what am I going to do? Now, those of us who've been teaching for a while, we know what we're going to do. We're going to go old school. That's right. We are going old school. Now, what do we actually mean when we say we're going old school? Well, old school means you're going to use that whiteboard. That whiteboard that's still there, that you probably covered up with some type of paper or something that you was just like, we don't use that anymore, right? But do you know what? Okay, this is a little side note. I'm always side noting it. But anyway, there are some schools that I attend, that I serve my students with. They actually still have chalkboard. Yes, chalkboard. Yes. But let me tell you how I do this now. Sometimes, even though I do have my tech and I do use my tech, however, I do have multicolored, it's like a chalk, but it's like a marker chalk type thing combined together. Ooh, it looks cute. It looks cute on that chalkboard. I'm just telling you right now. If there's anybody that's looking and they do have those chalkboard things, yep, go on to Amazon and just go ahead and get you one of those, and it looks really nice. But anyway, getting back to how we're going to do old school. Old school is just using what you have, okay? You're going to break that lesson down step by step. You start explaining. You hand out some paper. You have those children writing. Yes, now they do need to use the pencils. They sure do. They need to use pencils, so they need to write. These are things that they're not doing anymore. They're not writing. They're using their little fingers to just pick. No. Get a pencil and write correctly. The beginning of a sentence is a capital letter. The end is punctuation. Yes, do those things. Yep, that's right. You start to ask more questions. And suddenly, guess what? You're not presenting anymore. You are teaching. Like how we used to do back in the day. I know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm telling you. There's nothing wrong with good old-fashioned teaching. Let's be honest. Without the screen, we are the entertainment, because we ask more questions. We do things like, all right, boys and girls, let's turn and talk. Let's do shoulder buddies. Sometimes we even start doing that. We might do 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, or you have 4 alphabets, and you're like, who agree with this answer right here? Stand up, go over there. And those children are like, oh my God, whatever. And then you have to, the students, you have to, you ask the students, okay, if you say that you're going to be with answer A, you got to explain why. And then, you can talk to them, your group, and then you're going to have to choose somebody that this is what y'all talked about. And oh my goodness, these children, they love a challenge. They do. And then you can make it into a game. You can make it into a challenge. And these kids, guess what? They are learning because they're applying the concepts and the skills and the standards that we want them to learn anyway. You'd be surprised. These children, they love it. They love it. Because now you're seeing engagement. And a lot of times you're seeing engagement with students who normally are sitting in the back. They praying. They just praying you don't call on them. But now they're like, okay, they're part of a group. They're part of a community. And they're just like, yeah, I can do this, right? That's old school teaching. Your creativity begins to kick in. And that's something that I see that's dormant now. We don't do it like we used to anymore. We're so reliant on technology. And there's nothing wrong with it. Believe me, I love myself some good old technology now. I love to be able to do certain things, but I think sometimes we need to just keep a balance. There's nothing wrong with balance. Nothing at all wrong with balance. Now, while we're doing all this good teaching, we sign on in that board and be like, when is it going to come on? And soon as everything is just like grooving and the kids are up and about and conversating and discussing and all of that, all of a sudden this technology starts to work. And you're like, wait a minute. Didn't I unplug you? I could have sworn my support staff told me to unplug it. When did I plug you back in? But anyway, yeah. We have to remember that technology is just a tool. It is. It's helpful. It's engaging. And it does make things easier. But it should not take the placement of us. It shouldn't take the place of us. It's not a teacher. We are teachers. Again, I do think sometimes we do depend on tech too much. Sometimes we forget about our gifts that we bring to the table. When everything shuts down, and guess what? It will. And it does. There's no slides, there's no videos, there's no internet. What is left? Our voice, our talents, our gifts. To me, that is more powerful than any screen, any video that these children can see. They want us. They do. They want us. Now, remember, all the tech, oh yeah, it might fail us, but we don't fail. We adapt. We do it all the time. We really do, especially as teachers. Sometimes it may not just be tech, it might be other things in the classroom, but we always adapt. Sometimes we do it well, sometimes we may not, but it's okay because guess what? We're learning. These are lessons. These are life lessons we have to learn. But I also want to let you know that this technology that I'm talking about, it doesn't just fail in the classroom. It also sometimes can fail in life. Plans don't work out. Things don't load the way that you expect them to. Situations, they freeze, they stall, or they just completely shut down. In those moments, you have to rely on what's inside of you. It's your patience. The ability to think on your feet. We do have those skills. We do. But we neglect them sometimes. We have to be resilient. That is the real backup plan. We've all had those moments in life when our plans don't work out. There's no warning. There's no retry button. We just figure it out. The good news? We always do. Now, it might be messy and it may not be the way how you think you should have done it, but guess what? You got through it. Think back on those times. Believe me, you did it. You pivoted. You found another way, even when it feels messy. Not perfect, but it's okay. We all get nervous. But in our nervousness, we do figure things out. And sometimes we realize that we might not have needed all those things that we thought we needed. Because guess what? We showed up. We sure did. We showed up and we showed out, as they say sometimes. Yes. We begin to realize, like, wait a minute, I got more inside of me than I thought I did. At the end of the day, life is sometimes like a classroom technology. It's unpredictable. It can be dramatic at times, and at times it acts up at the worst possible moments. But like the classroom, we always find a way to keep the lesson going. Now, I got a question for you. Yes, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Have you ever had a tech meltdown? Anytime. It doesn't have to be like a total tech meltdown. What did you do? Did you panic? Or did you pivot? Let me know in the comments. You know what? I know I am not the only one. I know I am not the only one that's had this happen to me. If you've ever had to go old school, one time, anytime, just let me know. And if not, if you're saying, you know what, I know what you're talking about. All my tech, it always works. Guess what? Keep teaching. Keep teaching. You will. It's going to happen to you. Something's going to happen to you one way or another if you teach long enough. Well, anyway, I am so glad that you spent this time with me. And as always, you do realize what time it is. It's time for me to go. But before I go, please like, share, and subscribe. And wait a minute, don't forget to check out my other episodes like I Almost Quit, Because I have. I've quit several times throughout my career. I have. In my mind, anyway. Yeah, I did. Running on empty. That's another one, too. Because we all get exhausted. We do. Check that one out. And a new view. Because sometimes we might need a different perspective in life. And that's a good one as well. So until the next time, you keep breathing, exhaling, in whatever car that you have, because as you can tell, I got a Jeep. So, I'm it's my Jeep life right now. That's the season that I'm in. It's my Jeep life. But whatever life that you're in, whatever car that you are driving, you enjoy it, you breathe, you inhale, you listen to your music. And until I see you next time, you take care. Bye.